Hi guys, welcome back to the Gamer Muscle YouTube channel where we're jumping back into Project Cars 2 to check out a car that in a previous Project Cars 2 video everyone was saying I had to drive. This is following on from the drift videos that we've done. And it's the crazy Mazda, the Mad Mod Mike Mazda, which is basically... I think it's an MX5, but very vaguely so. But it's a Mazda where everything's been taken out of it. The engine has been replaced with the engine from a combine harvester. You see it's got a ridiculous handbrake. It's even got Boeing 747 dials, so you can put your windscreen wipers on and pretend you're playing a flight simulator whilst you're driving a car. But it's basically been completely butchered and pulverised to turn it into a complete and utter drift beast. Now, I've not... driven this car yet, so we're going to find out how it goes. Let's start off in first gear. We had the box in sequential there. Nice thing with the SHH, as I always say, you can swap it between sequential and H pattern. I'm going to use it in H pattern here. I think this car's set up for sequential, but I'll use it in H pattern, and if we need the handbrake, I'll always switch this over and we'll see. So, well, first of all, I'll start by doing some vaguely sensible driving. That does not sound like your average Mazda engine right there. Come on, just double check the recording's going. Indeed it is. Look at my little... that's nice to have animated feet, I have to say. Nice little shoes he's wearing. And the feet actually line up pretty exactly with my real-world feet. That's rather disconcerting. Here we go, though. Let's just pull away slowly. Oh dear. Okay, so I'm barely pressing the throttle and we're up to 60 kilometers per hour there. Yes, this car seems to have a reasonable amount of power to it. Oh dear. So I'm going to try and do 2 or 3 laps of this miniature version of the Spanish track. It's a really handy track if you're going to do some drifting because it takes out the straights and you just get all the crazy corners. Oh dear, actually trying to drive this without sliding. Look at that, the back end. Just dabbing the throttle. The back end's wanting to fly out there. You might get some flashing occasionally. Worth saying, this is obviously a... press build of the game. I have to say that, otherwise the Pac-Man will come and munch me. So you will notice some weird flashing stuff. That won't be in the final version of the game, I wouldn't have thought. So, yeah, at the moment, in terms of handling... Oh, just done a ninja chop in the face there. I do think it drives rather like a rather heavy and rather large bar of soap. But for a drift car, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not clearly designed to be driven in a sensible manner. Now let's start getting sideways. I think it's also worthwhile me saying, actually, one thing I've noticed in VR, when I drift in VR, if you look in the direction the car's going, unfortunately for you guys watching on YouTube, it has the effect of making the vehicle look as if I'm just understeering. So, for this video, especially for you viewers, what I'm going to do is try and lock my head forwards as if I don't have a VR headset with amazing one-to-one tracking. And that way you should actually be able to see the monstrous slip angles we're getting. I'll also try and put a replay view up as well on the screen so you'll be able to see the mad sick angles that we get into from an external view, but that might not work, so... If it's there, it's there, and I've now said it for no reason at all, and if it isn't there, you now know why. So, okay, let's actually go sideways here. Oh! We started doing that slide at like 90 kilometers per hour. Ah. Oh! Oh dear! Oh dear, they nicknamed this car the Tyre Eater. Mad Mod Mike. Whoa! Oh, Mad Mike. Oh, dear God. Lost it there. Mad Mike probably started off as a millionaire. You spent half his money building this car and then took it out for 3 laps and he went bankrupt due to having to buy so many tyres. Oh, dear, that bump. Totally unsettling the vehicle. dabbing the brake. We've got the, I've adjusted the brake bias to the rear a bit more so that I can just dab the brake. Oh! Yeah, so I can just dab the brake to get the back out. A bit more should I need to. Oh, no, we're mowing the lawn. Sorry, groundsman. Oh, God. This car has more power than Nazi Germany during the Blitzkrieg. You've got to watch out here. Keep control of it. Oh. 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 We will try and hook. Slide up. Try and keep my head steady for you guys. This corner's awesome. Oh, on the inside, on the curb. Oh, God, stay out. Oh dear. I'm dancing on the throttle with my toe. You can just see my feet in the cockpit of the car actually in VR. You can see the feet moving as well. Like a ballerina on the gas pedal. Oh no, too much again. You really notice with the downhill slopes, as opposed to uphill slopes, you really notice with the downhill how much easier the back end wants to slide out and stay out. Okay, let's try and link this up. And to the other way. Oh no, it didn't hold it, and there I elbowed the microphone. Watch out for the sound equipment. Oh, see, this is the thing that's tricky with drifting. I mean, it's actually, with this car, it's not hard to pop the back end of the vehicle out. As I was saying in previous videos. Oh, no, tyre wall. Oh, we've totaled the vehicle. That'll be £250,000 for a new side of the vehicle, please, and a new roll cage and everything else that we've just broken. Yeah, well, as I said in my previous video, what's hard with drifting isn't popping the back out. It's or even maintaining this in some ways. It's doing it elegantly. It's making it look like a someone with a sort of vague amount of competence is in the vehicle and is fully in control of the direction it's going at, rather than the vehicle's just being stolen by a rabid kangaroo, which is launched in second gear there. This car doesn't even need a first gear. I'm determined to link up a drift at the start of the track. Okay, and the other way. Oh no! Oh dear. So, and also it seems to be quite easy if you don't actually give it enough welly into the slide. It's quite easy to just get stuck in a bit of understeer. So you really do have to balance it. But that's quite satisfying when you actually start to nail that. And having so much power, it's really good. Oh no! We hit the bump stop, and we also hit the wall. One thing I have noticed with this car, I just noticed, if you do hit the bump stop with it with my direct drive wheel, we seem to get some weird force feedback jumping and bumping. So maybe that can be dialed out with MOS, and maybe that's just a weird force feedback issue at the moment. But for now, we're just trying to avoid the bump stop. Oh, I need to link up a drift. I'm going to give it one more lap on this circuit, I think, and then oh dear, and then we're going to have to take it to I'll take it to the Azure Coast track and actually drive it on some roads and see what it's like, because it'd just be interesting to see what this car would be like on a more natural road. Oh, the back just wants to slowly come round. Oh, there we go. That was not too bad. That was good for me. I'm happy with that one. We need a kudos meter. Come on, Slightly Mad Studios. Ah. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see if we can link this up. Well, we linked it up, but it was bloody horrible. Oh no! I nearly broke my thumb. Do you know what? A skilled drifter, they would be able to do this whole circuit side on. Oh, I've missed a gear there. They'd be able to do the whole track side on, corner to corner, making it look really nice. Unfortunately, for you guys, I'm not a skilled drifter. It's nice and addictive though. Go on, and the other way. Oh. Hold it. Let's come back and get it up. Spaghetti hands. Okay, I think that's the best we're going to get. Unless I have another good hour or so practice. Oh, oh dear, that's the best we're going to get. Let's have a look and see if the external views work out. There we go. That's just stepping out on the throttle there. Well, you know, you might not be able to call it elegant drifting or elegant driving. Look at the suspension balancing up and down. But here we go. That's sideways there. I've got some smoke coming out, and I'd say that's a link drift. Happy birthday to myself there. What a ridiculous car. Oh dear. Off we go. Fortunately, there's been a bit of a zombie apocalypse, and there's nobody on the roads. Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay. Let's just pop to the bank and pop to the garage. £250,000 later, brand new vehicle, and a week later. This is a nice thing with sim racing. Don't have to pay each time you smash your car into a wall, which is pretty often. Right, we'll take it vaguely easy. This video is going to look like that crazy, I think it was that crazy Russian guy. Someone linked to that in the comments. Actually, I'll put it underneath the video in the comments. The guy just drifting around the streets. Oh, here we go. You don't actually have to do that big a steering input, you know, to get the back out. It's more on the throttle. I try and keep my head pointing forwards actually again. So you actually be really quite delicate, even though the steering is fairly violent. Where are we going? Okay. Oh, this would be fun driving with friends actually doing drifting. I don't think Oh, Jesus. I probably should turn damage off. I don't think Project Cars 2 has like a kudos drift counter in it though, or a specific drift mode. That's definitely something I think they should do. Oh, God. Oh, nice wind sound as you pick up speed. Oh, we're understeering. The front end of this car sometimes does not want to bite in. As I say, oh, we're taking off. Lift off. Forget Elon Musk and his X-Prize. We've got this Mazda. That'll get us to the moon and back. No problem. Whoa. Yeah, it's actually quite slidey. I don't know, maybe I can do some setup tweaking. By slidey, I mean obviously the backslide. It's a bloody drift car. Whoa, but it's the overall grip level is actually fairly low, but we're doing like 150 kilometers an hour, so maybe that's what it is. Oh dear. I get a suspicion there might be some tweaks we can do to setup to get a bit more front end grip, a bit more bite, and maybe a little bit more lateral grip. Although you kind of don't want that for drift car. It's full of contradictions. Maybe I just need to use the brake pedal a bit more. That's probably the solution. Don't be silly. Oh no, I've done it again. There goes the side of the vehicle into the wall. It's alright, it's only a flesh wound. Just don't keep your hands inside the vehicle, ladies and gentlemen, or you'll have a rather expensive hospital bill. Oh no. Some big bumps there. Thought I'd knock my microphone over. You can actually, you can actually be quite smooth with it. Starting to get a loose expectation for how much the car slides laterally once you go over the grip threshold. Once you've got that, you know how much you need to slow down to avoid doing anything too stupid and denting the roll cage. Oh, nice view there. I'm definitely going to have to try this track in the different weather. We're actually using 5th gear, probably don't even need it. Drive the whole circuit in 1st gear should you want to. Oh no, there we go again. And there's a dent on the right hand side of the car to balance out the dents on the left hand side of the car. Get turned in. I'm going to pop the handbrake on here. Let's do a little quick. There we go. A quick shift from this H-pad mode to sequential. I use the flappy paddles on the steering wheel. There we go. And now I've got this the handbrake lever just to my left here. I'm just activating that using my shifter. So we'll see how that goes. Because one thing is, if you don't set your brake bias really far to the back, the nice thing with the handbrake is obviously it just locks up the rears or tightens them up, and then that lets you get that last bit of turning rather than having to use... why am I doing that? Rather than having to use the throttle or having to use the brakes with the brake bias too far to the back. So there you go. Do really tight, almost rally-like turns. Oh my god. It always feels weird to me when I switch from using the clutch, my left foot on the clutch, and then go left foot braking. I'm really comfortable left foot braking, obviously used to doing it with driving Formula cars in simulators. Whoa! Jesus Christ! Broken the hands. Wasn't expecting to go that airborne. Yeah, usually left foot braking when you've just been using a clutch for the last 15 minutes or so, and then you start left foot braking. It feels really weird because my clutch is a lot lighter than my brake. This is a load cell brake with these PT1 pedals, which is set up to be round. I've set it up really light, pathetically light for what it can do, but I don't want to get RSI in my feet at this age with the amount of sim racing I do. But even so, it's still quite heavy. It's probably at least 5 or 6 kilograms, I would have thought. not to initially actuate it, but to fully put on the brake. It's a good couple of kilograms. And so, compared to the clutch, it just feels really weird when you jump across. Nice story, that. I should write a book about that. That's one to use to chat to the ladies in the nightclubs. Hey, baby. Shall I tell you about my load cell? Bet you want to... I bet you'd like to put your foot on my load cell. Oh, that's nice. The car sort of following the camber of the road a bit. These are really good track, actually, for drifting. I say track, it's more like a... It's a road. Do you know what I think is a real shame with all the driving simulators at Project Cars 2? Well, especially Project Cars 2 and AC, because they seem to have really nice drifting. And they do have nice road circuits in both. You've got some really nice mods road circuits in AC, as well as Black Cat County. What's a shame is that both the sims don't have civilian road cars driving on the road, or even the option for that. Because for cruising, and there's a whole sort of subculture of sim racers that just like cruising. Oh, there's another wall. This is why I could never drive this in real life. We're probably on about £1.5 million worth of damage now. Unfortunately, the British economy collapsed after Game of Muscle bought a Drift Master and emptied the banks by crashing it too many times. Yeah, there's this really big drift culture. Cruise and drift culture in sim racing. It's kind of separate to the racing. It's kind of separate to other aspects of sim racing. It's kind of its own little thing. But they would love having normal road cars and real traffic and rules and things, so you could kind of role play that it was a real road. And, you know, it'd be really fun doing this drifting here, but also weaving in and out of traffic and having some points and stuff. That would be bloody fantastic. It's a real shame it's not there. Now, I can understand from a development point of view why it isn't there. A, it's extra work, and doing the foundation of the game in the first place is a lot of work. But also, B, you have the problem with getting the car licenses. Certain... Oh, that's the finish line. Oh, there goes the bonnet. Certain companies won't license cars for racing games if they're not serious racing games, because they don't want to see the cars being dented or driven in naughty ways. You naughty boy, driving our car naughty. But you know, they think it's bad for their image. So that might be why you don't see it in these types of games where, you know, I think it'd be bloody fantastic. Just weaving in and out of the traffic. As I say, I linked to a video of the car. He's dead now. Probably why it's not recommended in reality, but fun to watch nonetheless. I linked to the video of the guy doing drifting through streets. Okay, let's do this. Nighttime, same track. Let's put it on overcast. Let's make it full on English. I won't make it rainy. We'll just make it cloudy. Save that. We'll go for that again. That was good fun. So I think this Azure Coast is basically supposed to be like the roads around Monaco. I don't know how accurate it actually is. I don't think they got the license to the real Monaco track, so that's why they've called it as they have. But oh, that's nice. It really gives me a Project Gotham feeling. These buildings lit up at night, actually. And because I've got some of the lighting down a little bit low, the shading's not exactly the best, but it has that sort of MSR Dreamcast kind of shade to the building because of the lighting. That's not a diss to Slightly Bad Studios graphics artist there. They'd probably take offence to that. I meant that in the nicest way possible. Here we go. Oh, look at that. The lights are on. That's fantastic. This car's got really bright, that white with a blue tint lights. We've got a ferry over there full of rich people, just lit up. But also the speedo and what have you is all the Modtech display. Whoa! Is all lit up. Well, this is nice. This looks really nice. The lights! Oh, I've just done it exactly the same as what I did last time. Right, let's restart that. I'm so bad. Nobody is ever going to let me drive their car in real life. We'll stick to the sim racing. Oh, what's that? Not reset. Probably because I clicked resume session rather than restart session. Start, there we go. Okay, let's try and remember the corners. Let's drive on the other side of the road, actually. Oh, we can't. Oh, look at that. They've got their little like Christmas lights. That's cool. Yeah, so as I was saying, as you drive through the street lights, they light up the cockpit, the cabin. Cockpit. I'm not driving a bloody aeroplane, although it does look like it at times. But that's a really nice effect, especially in VR, because you feel the lighting going around you. Sorry I'm not linking up the drifts, guys. I'm trying my best. Oh, Jesus Christ. You have to watch out for that lock issue. And there's probably I could probably fix that on my MX direct drive wheel side. That won't happen with consumer wheels. It might bug out a little bit on consumer wheels, but it won't do it like that because they don't have they're not as ridiculous. Oh, this is fantastic. Just sliding around driving at night. I think, why do I keep making the same mistakes? What's wrong with me? I think one thing that happens driving in the dark in games is in the dark, details are kind of hidden by the by the patches of light, and you're kind of visually distracted a bit by the different lighting going on and the cockpit going on. So in some ways it actually makes it feel more believable. And also, if you're driving at night in reality, it looks quite abstract. It doesn't it doesn't look like the real world because everything gets lit by street lighting and highlighted in weird ways. So I think in some ways the game ends up looking more believable at night than it does in the day. You notice that with X-Plane 11 actually. That just has lots of little dots for street lights and car headlights. You put it on the nighttime mode. Oh, there goes a headlight. And X-Plane 11, you are pressed to tell watching a video of that at night between watching a video of a real plane at night. Oh, this is good. Try and get it turned in a bit. Off into the... Oh, shit. Another broken thumb. I just wanted to sit on the deck chairs. Oh, we've actually mangled the front of the car up. There's a nice little patch of beach there for the tax-avoiding millionaires to sit on. The Pac-Man's going to get me. They did say the one rule, the one stipulation they said for making videos: don't be crashing your cars too much. And here's me driving around Monaco, driving into walls. And because no one pays tax in Monaco, there's no money to fix the Armco, so that dent's going to be there for the next 50 years. Did I knock my mic off? No, it's still there. Oh, watch out! Oh, look at the lights on the walls there. Oh. I had to look into the corner there because I couldn't tell where I was going. Let's go stealth mode. Oh, you can't see anything. Oh no, you can, it's got a little bit of ambient lighting from the moon. I would have thought if I set it to thunderstorm, it'll be even darker. And then we're going to another bit of walk. No, we just pulled it off. Look how I used all the track there and even went onto the grass. Fantastic driving by myself, I must say. Did that entirely on purpose. That was good. I'll give myself 5 out of 10. That was an 8 out of 10, that corner. These corners are so tight, they're more like power slides going into them rather than maintaining the car in a drift through them. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, the grass physics work. Actually, I do like that in Project Cars 2. There was quite a few people complaining on previous videos. I don't know what they're... You know, they were saying, oh, the car's so stable off the road, it's simcade. Even though, you know, you can't gauge how realistic a game is from how much grip it's got on the grass. But personally, I actually think the grass is actually really well done in Project Cars 2 in that it's not just ice at the side of the track, or road in this case. It's, you know, it's another type of surface. Oh, Jesus Christ. I definitely need to sort that force feedback out. So the dirt actually has just a different type of grip to it rather than it just being icy like it can be in some sims. And you notice that when you drive off-road in Project Cars 2, the grass just has a different feel to it rather than it ruining the experience. I just thought Automobilista and Live for Speed actually did the grass quite well. And R-Factor 2, to me, the grass is too slippy in my opinion. But, you know, you get used to it. It's not necessarily too slippy at all times, it's too slippy for what I would think it would be like in perfect conditions. And I generally prefer it when simulators, if they are doing a, you know, sort of perfect condition racing, they're more on the forgiving side rather than the less forgiving side, because it's annoying when you're doing a race or a more prolonged session and then you have something that causes you to crash. That tunnel's nice. You notice as well, as you're going through tunnels... Oh! Jesus Christ! Oh. As you're going... Sorry about the language. As you're going through tunnels, you notice a really nice reverberation effect. We're going to have to book a doctor's appointment in anticipation of broken wrists. Oh no, there's another wall. Oh, there's sparks into the cockpit there. Oh, we've lopsided the steering here. It's all right. We're taking this car to an oval track. Unfortunately, it's an oval in the wrong direction, but it saves us having to turn so much. It's a British oval track. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's some broken glass. Oh, we've balanced the steering out. Well done. Did that on purpose. We've now turned this car into a wheelbarrow. Oh, that's it. Oh, we're on fire. Let's see if we put the brakes on if the bonnet comes off. Here we go. And brakes. There goes the bonnet. And we can take a look at the internals of the engine for those of you that were interested in Mad Mike's engine modifications. But I think on that note, given that we've destroyed this car a good number of times, we can appreciate the beauty of the sky and the stars. That doesn't look like a real... Oh no, there's no. I think that's a fake star arrangement. I keep seeing Orion's belt. There's Orion's belt. Oh no, it's just changed. No, there's Orion's belt, and there's also Orion's belt. Well, let's see if we can find the Big Dipper. Should be to the right of Orion's belt. No, this is a fraudulent sky. I think Simcade. That's it. Nobody get Project Cars 2. You probably can't even see the stars on the video, so that totally makes no sense to you guys. The sky is fake. 100% Simcade. Refund. Don't get the game. But yes, on that note, I hope you found that interesting. I hope that satisfies those of you that wanted me to drive this car and see me drive it badly. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section what else you would like to see of Project Cars 2. I'll try and think of some really nice clickbait titles as well in the process. Hope you guys don't mind, but that's the way of YouTube these days. I've been forced to capitulate. Until the next one, I'm off. I'm off to go to the doctor to get my wrists seen to. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.